there? I mean, like, tell us, what is it that you see in Nu Skin that makes you say it's a sure win? Or you like to say 包价?
包价, yeah, 包价. I think in today's economic landscape, I don't think you need to be an expert to know that there is no such thing as job security. Previously, you could say could work until maybe my 40s or maybe close to 50. Then maybe you might have a risk of disruption. But today, you can be in your 20s, your first job, 3 years, 5 years later, you could be out. I give you an example. If you were working in Uber in Singapore not too long ago, you think you'll be in a disruptive company, right?
Yes.
What happened? You got disrupted. You were young, you were 28 years old, you're going to conquer the world. It's not that easy. So for a job today, I think the insecurity is going to grow and grow and grow. For a business, I think all the statistics tell you only have at best a 1% chance of succeeding. These days, when I go and walk around shopping centers, it's very interesting. They put up the whiteboard and then they color up the board to disguise the fact that actually someone has vacated. But more and more of such spaces are being given up. In business today, you have to pay capital land, you have to pay Far East before you can even make money. And even those businesses can afford that, you can't find manpower. So I really salute those people who do business. So I look at it today, I think surely we must all be open to another way. Most of us only think either job or business. In fact, most people, because after they lose their job, they take their very small savings, go and rent a shop. Of course they say, no, now got Uber and Grab, very good incentive. Sorry, there's only one guy left called Grab, and they're squeezing you. So be open to another way. So why is this 包价? Very simple. If you look at a sector of beauty by itself, is it 包价? It's 包价. Health is 包价. Obesity, even better. Nu Skin has all three. But Nu Skin does not require you to put in capital. No need to carry inventory. No need to worry about rental. No need to worry about landlord. And the most important of all, a group of brilliant scientists around the world to come up with new products for you. In fact, I sometimes cannot keep pace with the number of new products. This is very important for a business because if you don't have new innovative products, you lose out. And you have your wonderful uplines to teach you how to do the business. As Avian was saying, don't know how to do sales, don't like to talk to people, also can make it. It's true, it's absolutely true. You have the support of so many people. Corporate, you have the support of your team to help you. How can you not make it if you're prepared to work? So I really think it's a sure win business. In my 30 years of looking at business, this is the only sure win I will tell you.
So this is from a guy, 30 years of looking at business. So, okay, so you are a very straight talking guy, so I can ask you this next question. What are some of the challenges you and your leaders have faced in building this business?
When I was very young in the business, I would have answered the question very differently. It might have taken me a few days. But these days when people ask me, and this question is typically asked from people maybe like yourself, you sort of look at it and say, wow, the product's so good. Wow, so exciting. I also want to do. But I think got a lot of issues, got a lot of problems, right? A lot of people will ask you, what are the problems? What are the challenges? To which I say, there are many, such as people don't like MLM, people think your products are expensive, so on, so forth. Actually, that's not important. I only want to talk about a few things. The biggest problem is you. You don't believe. How can you not believe when a company has been around 34 years, 54 countries, and produce such wonderful products and really get real people to do it part-time and do it full-time? So the number one thing is, the real problem is you. The second problem is that you don't believe. So what do you need to believe? You need to believe in the company, you need to believe in the product, you need to believe in what the team tell you, and you need to believe in yourself. But the third one is the most important. Don't look at all the small problems. Look at the biggest problem facing all of us today. You know what's the biggest problem facing all of us today? Running out of money. Do you think that's the biggest problem? I think that's the biggest problem. It doesn't matter what income you're on. You can be on $3,000. You can be on $50,000. The moment you run out of money, big problem. So why not you acknowledge that is your biggest problem? You see that Nu Skin can solve the problem. All the other problems are no problems at all.
Thank you. Agree. So, Julian, what kinds of people succeed in this business, right? People look at you, talk so well, study until like high level. And then the other thing is you were very early. I mean, you joined Nu Skin early. And so must we be like that, early in the pyramid, and then government scholar, good in sales. Must it be like that to succeed?
Okay, so the answer to the first part of the question is that I've seen a lot of salespeople not make it. I've seen a lot of very quiet people make it. Do you need a big network? I tell everyone that I succeeded in this business despite having a very big network of people who can buy this product. But I look at my business today, actually a lot of my so-called network did not come in. They did not even buy the product. I look at my consumer sales. At most 15% of my consumer sales are from people who are my family or my friends before Nu Skin. Of my business builders, almost none are from people I know. So actually, I have no advantage at all. Yeah. Now, as to starting first, actually, I noticed the casualty rate from the pioneer batch, so-called my batch, is higher. In fact, this is true. Every time Nu Skin opened the pioneer batch, actually the casualty rate. Imagine if you are cutting through virgin jungle, a lot of people die, right, because of snake bite and malaria. But right? Yeah, but when the roads are open, then you got, then it's easier. And not only that, in the early days, people ask me, are you sure or not? Nu Skin legal or not? Where is Nu Skin? Today, I'm very proud to tell you, the last 6 years, Nu Skin is #1 in Singapore by a long stretch. So we know our positioning. And number 2 is half our turnover. So don't even ask me about number 5. Just too far behind. Yeah. So I really think that this business, it doesn't matter when you start. And I want to give one example. I just came back from Hong Kong recently. I gave a talk there. Hong Kong has been open since 1991, which is a good 27 years. So the market should be saturated. Not true. Hong Kong is going very, very well, and a lot of new people come out. When I was in the room, the people are only in their 20s. How can it be that a Hong Kong market been open 27 years, still growing? Very simple. The guy who is 26 years old wasn't born when Hong Kong was open, right? Oh, but the guy who is 50 years old, maybe 10 years ago, he don't see Nu Skin as necessary for his life, but he sees it now. Trust me, we have a long way to go. We have a long, long way. I think Nu Skin Singapore could be 10 times its present sales in Singapore, and still we are only just beginning. This is going to be the longest bull run ever. It's not going to stop.
Yeah. Well, I actually never dare to ask you this question. Sometimes when you first look at me, you also don't know whether I can make it or not.
Okay, actually, you also asked me what kind of people will succeed. Okay. So maybe I have a slide here. So I just want to showcase some people. This guy here, Professor Lang Chow, I believe he was a physics professor. The way he talks is like any professor. This is a wonderful business opportunity. He really talks like that. But to me, that's the most bullish point, because this man is not just $20 million. So I think he's probably makes 80 million US dollars. Because he truly believes. So for a PhD to do it, actually it's very tough, but he can do it. Martha Laurie used to clean hospitals and also do part-time domestic maid. Yeah? So she used to say to people, previously, she would be on a stage like this and she would be talking to thousands. So she said, previously, I used to clean toilet bowl. Now I clean people's face.
Improvement.
The same toilet bowl also quite smooth, right? But except that she don't just talk about the product when she clean it. And she said, by the way, there's an amazing business opportunity behind it. And one of my uplines, $10 million circle from Hong Kong, was sitting in the audience. We were just starting out. She said she was so inspired by Martha Laurie. Martha Laurie got up after this story, and her punchline was this: if I, a toilet cleaner, can do it, why can't you? True, right? And this guy Elvis from Malaysia, I understand that he came from a very poor family, used to sell goreng pisang for a living. So again, a goreng pisang seller can make it. Why can't we? And this man, Mr. Goh Tan San, I played golf with him when we were on a trip team trip in Hawaii. This guy was a taxi driver. In fact, he was so excited. He told me the story. It was something like this. He heard about this wonderful opportunity called Nu Skin. He was very excited. He went back and he told his parents, he told his wife, I'm going to do Nu Skin. And they all laughed at him. His parents, his family, his brothers, and said, you at best are going to be limousine driver class 1. You have no education, you're a taxi driver. How can you compare with those people? Sorry, this guy is a $20 million circle member from Japan. So can you see from this background, all can make it. It's how strong is your dream.
Yep. Thank you. So from the time you started until now, of course, things have changed so much. Technology, our company has got so many new products, right? So if someone has just joined this business, what would you say to them?
I think what I see of some of the new people, it's very easy to get distracted because some of the younger ones will be social media, then they look at people like me, like Akong like that, look at social media, say, yeah, I use WhatsApp, social media. No. It's not
Even I also know
Instagram, Okay, don't get me wrong. I think social media, whatever media, is good. But I see far more important than social media is socializing. Okay? So there are a lot of new products, and I think it really makes our job easier. I think when we started, we had to do a lot of demo, which is fine. But today, I think when they put Lumi Spa on their face, wow, in like 30 seconds on one hand, they say, wow, and then the Galvanic Spa and Agelog Me and so on and so forth. So with all this new technology on the products, it makes our life a lot easier. With all this social media and whatnot, WhatsApp, for me it's social media, it also makes our life much easier. But the most important thing is I also notice whether young or not so young business builders in my group, the ones that grow and stay are still doing the basics. They're still doing the things that Lang Chow did 30 years ago. They're still doing the things that Mata Lori, Goh Tan San, and the Goreng Pisang Elvis did in Malaysia. It doesn't matter when you start. It doesn't matter which country. There are only 3 things you need to do in Nu Skin to succeed. Just that there are only 3 things that matter when you buy property: location, location, location. So what are the 3 things you need to do? Prospect, prospect, prospect. Just keep talking to people until you find the right one. You don't know who it is, but they will come. So I applaud all of you who brought people to this seminar, because the person who came most reluctantly, you almost have to drag them here, could be your big winner.
It makes sense, right? So someone actually said when the conversation stops, your business actually stops. So whether you're talking belly to belly, face to face on social media,
Do socializing.
socializing.
Yeah, I only know how to do socializing. I don't know how to do social media.
Okay, see, I almost forgot the next question. Okay, so in this current economic uncertainty, right? So why is Nu Skin so relevant or so important?
I think I see a lot of people searching for another way to make a living. And of course, the Singapore government is really very progressive. So they always talk about skills future, skills whatever, But the reality of it is things are moving so fast, They are moving so fast. And I always like to use the analogy of where is Nu Skin's opportunities positioning amidst all of this. When the sky is dark, the star shines even brighter. At a time of very volatile, irrepressible change, shouldn't you at least look at an idea that could give you not just passive income, but compounding passive income for the rest of your life? Is it that difficult to be open? Because you really don't have a choice. No matter how skilled you are, the chances are they're going to get you. Okay? I don't mean to be pessimistic, But I'm just telling you the reality from what I've seen talking to business people and so on and so forth. It's going to be very hard. I still deal with Chinese conglomerates when they want to look at some investments in Singapore. The speed at which the Chinese people are moving is so scary. We can barely keep up with it. And talking about every age group, not just the young and so on and so forth. So China is what, 1.1 billion people. India is 1.3 billion people. That's 2 billion people competing with us. You just need to take 1% of them. That's big enough. And with all the changes in AI and whatnot. So I can only say, please, 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 in this volatile world, please look at an alternative. Be open. Otherwise, when it happens, it might be too late.
Okay, second last question. So I know it's quite hard for you to imagine your life without Nu Skin, but imagine, right, you didn't do Nu Skin. What would your life be like? How would that turn out?
It's very interesting. My wife the other day, as she was walking out, she said, "Wow, look, sibei home ya. Life damn good.
Means you very good life.
Very good life. Because she said, I think I must tell Nu Skin, must do a feature on all the successful Nu Skin people, like life with the Kardashians. Every day see what kind of life, you have, eat breakfast, go gym, then talk to people, then, do things, do a bit more work, and then, go on holiday. It's very hard to imagine this, okay? But it's absolutely true if you work hard. So what I'll say is this. The person who presented this opportunity to me said, what is the risk of doing versus the risk of not doing? Most of us, very good Singaporeans, we always think, I do, what if I don't make it? Very lao kui leh. I always score A's one, must be very sure. I score 100 marks before I submit the test paper. Are we all like that? Very kiasu one, right? But actually, it's the second part of the question, which is exactly what she's asking. What is the risk of not doing? I'll tell you, my hair will not be as black as what it is today. I didn't dye it, okay? My tummy will be bigger, my bank account will be smaller. And I will probably have to dip into my savings to pay for my lifestyle. And I'll be most unhappy. I'll be very, very worried about the future.
Okay, so we've got time for just one last question. So if someone is sitting out there and going like this, thinking, any final word for our audience here?
Okay. Firstly, do not go back and ask the rest of the people about Nu Skin. Your close friend, your family.
Yep.
The majority are always wrong about things, the big things in life. Just like property market. Everyone buy at the high, everyone sell at the low one. I tell you, the majority are always wrong. This is always been what I've observed. People always do things that are too late. Okay? More importantly, you should listen to the successful people. Why they do Nu Skin. Listen very carefully and don't just take a straw poll. I talk to 10 people, all 10 say cannot do. I say you can talk to 100 also like that. Right? So don't listen to the majority. Secondly, I think you really have to ask yourself the question I posed earlier. What is the biggest problem we all face today? And I put it to you, the biggest problem is running out of money. If this is the biggest problem, then you must find something that can solve the problem. And I put it to you that Nu Skin is the vehicle that can solve all these problems, or this number one problem and all your other problems. And the third thing is, do you really understand what is this opportunity and this vehicle that's being offered to you? On the one hand, you think, multi-level marketing, 65%, very good product, so you sell, got passive income. But that's just the technical terms. I really want to make you understand this point about what a wonderful gift of life that you are being given to. You are being given, but what you do with it is very important. So I just want to share a very simple story. This is one of my new executives, Chun Ling, in coaching. I have never met her, but about a week ago, I spoke to her by a Skype call, and her starting point was, I'm not doing this for money. I want to help people. I said, okay, fine. We talk. Then subsequent to that, when she saw her check, she wrote me a nice story, a really good story. She said, my husband and I, we work very hard in government jobs. But no matter what we do, we are very careful about budgeting, but because we have 3 kids, the money barely enough. We have to really calculate, even on holiday, how much we can spend and so on and so forth. Really, there's nothing left. Can we all relate to that story? We can, right? Then she said, when she received the check, it just so happens that her boy, they say, Mommy, I want to join the mini science club. And the daughter said, Mommy, I want to join the dance class. What would her answer have been previously? Cannot, no money. But when she saw the check and she saw her children wanting this, she said, I know straight away where this money is going. She was able to pay for his science class, pay for her dance class, and she won first prize. Isn't that wonderful? So I dedicate this story to all the mothers in the room. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, right? And I think mother's love is one of the greatest and the most powerful force in the universe. Some of you who watch Avengers think it's the Infinity Stones, but I think mother's love is more powerful. Okay? But even the most powerful force in the universe needs a vehicle. No matter how much you love your kids, there's only so much money you can put on the table, and there's barely enough. I tell you, I'm very grateful to my parents. It was very difficult, but somehow they put money on the table to feed us and to make us go to school. But what if, just starting out, she's able to make her daughter and son so happy, she's now thinking, wow, this is much bigger than I thought. Much, much bigger. So I want to really say to you again, do not look away. This is a gift of life that your friend is giving you. From the bottom of my heart, I hope you really take a good look and join us on this wonderful life journey to a most happy life. Thank you very much.